Welcome back to JK Rants and Reviews. I'm John. This is Caleb. Today we're going to be talking about the 2019 Child's Play
retelling,
restoring,
rebranding.
So the first part of this video, as we normally do, is going to be spoiler free for new movies. Anyway, we normally do. First little bit will be spoiler free, and then we'll give you a warning to click off, and we'll have the spoiler. So yeah, what do you think?
I had a lot of fun with it. I, going into it, thought that I was going to hate it. I had not been looking forward to this at all. I didn't want to go see it. I mean, I did, but I didn't. But I actually came out, and I think I had a lot of fun with it. And that also makes me mad as a fan of Child's Play. So I'm conflicted. You?
For me, I think it underperformed a little bit. I still really enjoyed it. The acting is really good. The cinematography is pretty good. The animatronics is pretty good. Very different.
His face.
Yeah. I mean, just like in the pictures you can see, it's just...
His face.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I think it was okay. I think, like I said, I think it underperformed. But overall, it's a good movie. I think it would have been better had Child's Play, had it been its own movie. I think it would have been a better movie.
I mean, it's...
Because I walk in and I gave this movie, like I've shown, like I gave it complete like support and everything else like that.
Yeah, he's backed this movie since the idea first came out when we were just talking about it, and I was the naysayer. Yeah,
but it just, the problem is you go in judging it on a movie that was 1988, you know, 30 plus years ago.
And you can't... I love Mark Hamill, but you're no Brad Dourif.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're no, in this situation, you're no Brad Dourif. I mean, he's obviously leaps and bounds bigger than...
Hey, Halloween 2, alright?
No, that was some good acting. True,
yeah.
True. Anyway, so yeah, I would still, I'd still recommend it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say if you get a chance, go see it at a theater. I think it would be a great movie to see it like a drive-in. It is the season. Mm-hmm. If you've got one locally, support your local theater. Go out, check it out there. If you don't get to catch it in theaters, I would definitely at least rent it, if not snag a copy. It's definitely worth the watch. I think the cinematography and some of the effects are worth the big screen. Mm-hmm. It takes a little bit of build to get there, but yeah, if I were you, I would go see it in theaters.
Right. Overall, everything's quality.
Yeah.
Everything's quality.
Oh,
I mean, there's nothing...
They had a
cheap.
budget, and they used it.
They did. And I appreciate that. I do appreciate that this wasn't a cash grab, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
So, guys, now we're going to go to our spoiler review. Spoilers. So, run.
So, the Joker Chucky. Obi-Wan Kachucky.
Where do we want to come from?
It was Han Solo. That's what he said. My bad.
Yeah, why didn't they just go for it? Why didn't they just say Luke
Skywalker?
Right? Why didn't they just say your name is Luke? Like, that's it. Don't say Han Solo, just say Luke.
I think it started the way I expected it to. The way it opens with a guy kind of explaining what the company is, what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. My problem as soon as I saw it was the Chucky doll. The Buddy doll. I don't like its face. I don't like it's not right. It doesn't feel right.
Right. I actually do prefer the okay, so Chucky, or Child's Play 1 through 3 face. Yeah. And then you have that Bride and Seed face, and then you have the Colt and Curse face. And I don't mind Kurt and Cole's face. Kurt, you know.
Curse and Colt. Curse and Colt.
God.
Curse and Colt. Curse Colt.
Right. Didn't mind that face. But this one is a little jarring. It's a little clay-y. Does it feel like clay plasticky? It plays with the character and the animatronics a little bit, but it's not quite right.
No, it's
goofy looking.
It is. Like, it's not... I think that they were going for it's not meant to look scary because it's a child's doll.
Which is fine.
Which is okay, but then when it was times for Chucky to look scary, he just looked goofier, in my opinion.
Except for the jump scares. Like, the jump scares, he did get creepy.
Those are jump scares, though. They're,
right.
I mean...
It's real fast in your face. But that's kind of how I would have preferred this Chucky. More in the darkness. I mean, they did have some scenes, like, where he's watching Andy sleep and he's making the cat noises. That was creepy.
The cat noises thing was really weird with the eyes glowing in the dark. I'll give it that. But something about the original series doll has a little bit more of a harmless yet harmful look. It like nails the look. Well, this went too far one direction.
Well, I think the problem with this movie is that there's no voodoo, and in the original movies he could go into a complete doll, and then boom, when he went to the scary face, he had like a human-like looking face, and that kind of was cool in his metamorphosis and his character, where this just, it had to work with what it had in a certain confinement. I was kind of hoping that in this movie, the biggest, like, maybe spoiler would be that they would actually use the voodoo and not tell anybody, that everybody thought it was just going to be AI, and it was actually going to be voodoo attached to this doll, and then the doll would have AI, so they would just capitalize on that, because a lot of the heart is gone, and I say heart, but a lot of the sinister, creepy vibe is gone when you don't have voodoo.
My main problems are with Chucky, which sucks because this is a Chucky movie.
Yeah, that's what I go to see.
I don't like the smile on the doll. It looks just like the animated Batman Joker. It totally is. Hearing Mark Hamill, look, I love Mark Hamill as much as anybody else, but that was too big of a name for this.
Right, I agree, absolutely.
It didn't work for what this was trying to do. Also, Chucky in this movie doesn't know what he wants. He wants Andy's friendship, but then sees that killing things doesn't get that, so he keeps killing things.
He really has this warped sense really fast, and I mean, you've seen it before, where just like Terminator and some other ones, where the machines turn against you because they think the best way to serve life is to get rid of it, or whatever.
Yeah.
The problem, like Mark Hamill does the Joker, and I love Mark Hamill. Appreciate everything you've ever done.
We both
love you, but the first half of this movie is straight up Joker, because it's all like innocent, trying to be somewhat creepy in the background, and then when he ramps it up, it gets better about the half to 80% end of this movie, and then it kind of goes right back to the Joker.
That chunk of the movie, it's got this like looming feeling, like you're dealing with, like this, what's that thing called, the aerator, or the dude with the Christmas lights and the thing that ran him over.
Yeah, Yep, the till?
Yes, the till. The till.
Motorized.
Thank you. The motorized till. That scene actually was like dreadful, and the fact that Chucky's running in the shadows, so you're not dealing with the goofy face and the Joker, and when he talks, it's a little more maniacal than when he's normally speaking and all you can hear is the Joker.
I think the creepiest thing that he had going for him is that he kept coming into all the electronics and messing with you, so you thought he was in the room, but he wasn't, and it torments Andy that way.
Yeah, that definitely added a new factor. I enjoyed that.
Right, and he was a good size too. I feel like this size Chucky doll is better than what we get in the movies, because he's just a little bit more proportionate. The bigger hands makes it look like he can actually grab a knife. Like, his head is huge. Like, I mean, in movies, but he just looks better proportioned.
There's a scene where when Andy first gets the doll, he's walking with him and he's like holding his hand, and it looks proportionately right. Like, if you were to do that with a Chucky doll, I mean, of course, they're not animatronics, so they're dragging, but it seems weird that.
And I like that scene. I'm glad you brought that up, because I probably would have forgot. When he's walking him in there like a little kid, like, I have a very young child, and he holds my finger just like that and walks right next to me. I was like, oh, I like what you're doing here. Like, this is really that innocent, sensitive voice. Everything was really working for this movie at that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, everybody in the cast did great. I think that the effects team did fantastic. The editing team, well done.
The child actors. Did you get this?
The child actors were all grade A.
Have you seen Mean Girls? The girl
it's been a very long time.
And the friend, the guy friend, and the girl.
I'm not going to be able to pull that up.
That's who they reminded me of. Andy's closest friends in this movie. I do like how they really brought a sense of realism, like how the kids talk, how
and the kid throwing up.
Right, Mike with his mom. Right, Mike and his mom. Like, people, it seemed very natural in this movie. Like, they were trying to do some stuff like Get Out is done and stuff like that. But they did a really good job, and I appreciate that. And like I said before, I really appreciate this movie really doing a good job with its budget, with its marketing, with its quality. I think this is a really good quality movie that didn't get cheesy really in too many aspects. Like, I think it did a really great job.
I have to ask you a question. What was your favorite kill?
My favorite kill is the mom, where she's getting tormented in the car, and then she's sitting there and like he's tapping into the car and it's getting super creepy. The suspense is building, and then boom, he's there, and you get that herky jerky like. That was super creepy, and I think that was a really good one.
I did actually jump because I knew he was in the car, and I don't think I've jumped in a horror movie in a long time. But it was just the way his voice echoed in the theater. It actually like worked.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the creepy landlord maintenance guy. It was like Chucky became self-aware like Skynet in that moment, and he started like hacking into the cameras and the sound and the thermostat and all that.
I didn't like. Can you turn up the heat to 150 degrees in the house? I've never tried.
I don't have Nest. If you have Nest, please answer. He's chasing this dude around, like cutting at the back of his legs, and then he stabs up. Whoo! Stabs up. Him. And then he gets him on the ground, and he does a bunch of slashes real quick, disappears real fast, and then this dude, his first thought of safety to get off the ground is on a table saw.
Which is, of course, sound activated to the Wi-Fi. Why? I was like,
And then he pulls the bolt out so the table falls out from under him, and he's hanging on from a heat pipe. And I'm sorry, he's a large man. I'm a large man. That pipe would give out.
Well, not only that, but like, how long can you hold? It's not like he's out there down there working out. Like,
once you hit 150 degrees, and then he puts his foot down and cuts it, and then he falls. Yeah, that was.
Then why couldn't he just shimmy down a little bit? That was the thing. I was like, okay. The saw is underneath you, and this is your biggest concern.
He is a large man. We fall where we fall.
It's true. I don't know. That
was my favorite kill because it was very creative. I think all of the kills in this film were creative, and I appreciate that.
So the connections between Toy Story and Child's Play with Andy and all that stuff. It's so funny because this dude reminds me, because he's like gonna pawn this Chucky doll. It reminded me of the guy in the chicken outfit in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Where he steals Woody. That's exactly what this dude reminded me of. Similar build, glasses, creepy. Yeah. They really did, like, mostly, like, the first few deaths were, like, people that not deserved it, but people you weren't going to cry about, and you were kind of root, because this is what you come for. You come for a horror movie to see some good kills. So you were rooting for them, and I like how they did have the one with the mom where you're like, I don't know, are you going to kill the mom? You sure are.
I kind of felt bad for her. She, like, the officer's mom was one that I was like, man, she was so nice.
Right, and he's an awesome character and super, yeah that was sad. But you needed some heart in this movie, and that was a good spot. And then he got real upset.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously, but no, yeah.
The final act.
I thought it was a little, I like when everything goes nuts in the store, and those freaking bears were awesome. Like, more teddy bears. More of those bears, because that was sick. And I do like that. Those are some intense drones that they can just, like, cut you like that.
Real quick, are drone blades that sharp?
Right, please, yeah. I mean, expensive ones. Because when they smash it, they actually did make it sound like it was a thick
Well,
drone.
are they also strong enough to, like, decapitate?
Right. And the dude got stabbed. Okay, so yeah, the guy that puts the big helmet on and gets stabbed, and he's, like, bleeding out. And then he gets up like nothing happened. He's like, I'm just going to shake this off. And then all of a sudden it's like, ah, which was funny.
But he's like, really? I hate my job. Poor guy.
You're not getting up. You would have bled out by then, or at least you're not getting off the floor. You're just sitting there like this. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted more of the Chucky dolls to come out, because there's a ton of them in that store.
Yeah, they just let out like 4 of the teddy bears and no more of the buddy dolls. Like,
it would have been sweet if you're going to have everybody in the store get cornered by these. Like, everybody should have got cornered and then just said screw it and gone for all of them. You had this like cool fight scene in the dark.
Yeah, it was like they were toying with the Cult of Chucky, and then what Don Mancini talked about wanting to do in the originals or original part 3, but they like got you real close, and then they were like, wait, our budget's not that high.
Right. That's the only thing was well, and then the end with it wasn't just very menacing.
Okay, the Chucky deaths at the end, his 3 comebacks were not nearly 2 comebacks, 3 comebacks, however many, were not nearly as like shocking as the first film.
Or the second.
Or the second. Or the third.
Well, 30 didn't really have a comeback.
Well, I mean, still, he didn't get his face sliced off.
It's true, yeah. He didn't get seriously messed up, yeah.
And then the not surprising, I'm not dead.
Right. This is a movie that I think would have been a lot better had it not been a Child's Play movie, had it been its own thing, and had
just
you
one.
But no, yeah, we love Mark Hamill, but yeah, the problem is just like we grew up with him, Batman the Animated Series, Star Wars. Like, not that he really is that voice in Star Wars, but a little bit. Like, it's just,
his voice is iconic.
Should have done a no name.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Bill Skarsgård. Like, who is he? No clue. You put him in it, and that's him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, what would you rank it?
Oh, I initially went in thinking I was going to give it a 1. Yeah, that's where I stood on going to see it. I thought it was going to be awful. I was planning on ranking it right next to Seed, but I actually came out pleasantly surprised. It does have a lot of problems. It was entertaining. I think I'm going to go 6.5.
That's pretty gracious for...
It is. I didn't hate it. And I will watch the sequel that comes out, and I will probably hate that. He's the opposite. He went in high hopes and came out heartbroken. I
thought this movie would be a 9. I thought after seeing what was bad about Leprechaun Returns...
Hey!
Well, I mean, there's some good stuff in that, but it's a B movie. Like, you took a Leprechaun movie, which was a classic, goofy... Anyway, that's my opinion on that. Anyway, we'll come back to that, but... The greatness of Halloween 2018, which there's some ups and downs to the community, I know, but... and then the It remake, which is fantastic and has done well. I thought from the producers of them, this would be great. The problem is like, in the first Child's Play movie, like I said, you got the voodoo, you got the creepy build-up. You have Chucky, like, when he freaks out, like, it's intense. You have Brad Dourif, which just nails the voice. You have a good build-up and a villain that was already a villain. In this one, you had to build... you know, the character of Chucky, and you had to build up the interaction, and you had to kind of, like, the friends came in there, but it was really fast. Everything was really fast, and I think you needed a little bit more of the creep factor, which you'll get more in the second one. I think the second one could capitalize on this. I think they should have done more with the possessing other buddy dolls. I think they should have done more with more of the Wi-Fi. Yeah, and it did bug me a little bit. Like, the cat was killed. Chucky's standing over the cat, and it's okay. You're not going to say anything, and then you have a face on a watermelon.
Okay, that was an awesome scene. I'm not going to lie. When he just walks past it and then comes back, it's like, holy
shit. Right, that was super jarring. Like, that was a cool callback, too, which they reference anyway. But that's cool how Chucky saw that in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and then used it.
One of my favorite sequels.
Because he thought Andy would like it. That was gruesome for those kids' age.
They referenced TCM2. That's one of my all-time favorite horror sequels. I loved that.
Right. And then, I mean, I get that nobody's going to believe you that this doll did this, especially since you covered up the cat. So you have to cover up that. But it just, I was like, dude, this is intense. This is serious. And, I mean, they just didn't approach it the way I thought they should have. Because they just kind of let it go. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a rant. So I'm going to give this movie 2 reviews, and I'm going to review it on the fact that this was not a Child's Play movie. If this was not a Child's Play movie, I could give this movie a solid 8. 8 out of 10. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10 if it was not a Child's Play movie. But comparing this to the original, and you just have to, because it's Child's Play. Comparing this to the original movie, to try to ride the coattails on that, I'm going to give it a 6. And 6 isn't probably horrible, you're thinking, but to me, I mean, everything else on this list other than Seed has been way up there.
You've ranked really high, whereas I've ranked in the 6s and 7s.
And it's funny, like you said, like, we flipped.
Yeah, we totally
I gave this my full support. I thought it was going to be a solid 8, 8.5 was what I was assuming, 9. I was assuming greatness. And it just left me short. The whole time I just couldn't get off. I couldn't get off the Mark Hamill thing. The whole time I couldn't get off the voodoo thing. I just couldn't let go. I tried. I really did.
I don't think the movie was great, but I do think it was enjoyable, and I do think it's worth your time to watch. If you haven't actually seen any of the other Child's Play films, I think that you will like this more.
Right.
But then if you go back and watch all the originals, God help you if you watch Seed, you might actually like this less.
Right. It's kind of like, to me, it's like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Like, if it's not a Halloween movie, it's a lot better. If it's a Halloween movie, it gets dropped down because you destroyed a lot of characters.
This is a touchy subject.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm getting it.
We'll go back later.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure and like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Stick with us because we're going to be doing a ranking video soon. And then we'll finally see where we rank all of them. So yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, JK out.
I really hope they don't kill Candyman too.
Wait, Candyman 2 was in the second movie, or Candyman 2 like as well?
TOO.
TOO.